welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. And we cannot believe Love Island USA season is here already. It
Yes.
feels like it just ended and now it's back, even though we've been dying for it to come back. And now the time is here. It's so exciting.
Yes, and we got an official cast list yesterday. So, we have to go through the cast, give our first impressions, but also there is tea dropping left and right about the cast. And the show's not
Yeah.
even out yet. Like the premiere is June 3rd, but the tea on social media has not stopped. So, we're going to update you guys on what's been going on and, spill the tea. So,
Yeah, we did say that last time where we were wondering, like, where's the cast list? And we knew as soon as that cast list drops, the detectives get out there. Everyone who saw their man or their ex-man or their ex-baby mama or whoever on the show, they're like immediately spilling all the tea on TikTok. So
yeah.
we've compiled everything we've heard so far. But before we start, I just want to get it out of the way that we know last season was amazing. It was like lightning in a bottle. It was so good, but we don't want to spend this whole season comparing it, Like I don't want to just say every time like it's not as good as last season. So in all of our recaps, we won't say that. We got it out of the way now that it's probably going to be hard to replicate, but we're going to give this one a fair chance and just look at it from just this season eyes. But I've watched every season. So for
Yeah.
me, that's easy. Like I loved every season and I've been like so invested. Did you watch any of them before last
I
year?
think I started with season 4 or 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
3
that
was
was my
so good.
which
Like
was
with
3?
you remember like Mackenzie and Connor and the little teddy bear and
Okay,
like
no, I didn't watch 3. 4.
okay.
Who was in 4?
4 was oh my gosh, now I can't remember any
I
like
think I
specific
think you
names.
know
They
what?
all blend.
I think my first season watching was the season before season 6. So season 5. Hannah
Oh, okay,
Marco.
okay. Yes, they just
Hannah
got
Marco. Yes,
engaged.
I saw
Did
that.
you
I did saw
see?
that. That was my first ever Love Island USA season was Hannah Marco,
Yeah.
Bergie,
Yes.
Cassie,
Cassie.
Rob. Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
my first season ever watching.
Yeah, they've all been really good. They just I don't know what it was about last season. It was just magic and obviously Ariana came in as the host and people were tuning in maybe initially for that, but then the cast really like was what people stayed for because they
Yeah.
just had such good chemistry and
Yeah.
we're so genuine. That's the part I feel like will be hard to replicate. I felt like they went in it knowing it was a good show, it was a popular show, but not like to the level it was last season. So they
Yeah.
they definitely felt like they were there for love as well as whatever comes with it. So
Mm.
hopefully the people this season will be the same, but
Yeah.
we won't compare it. We got it out of the way that last season was so good, but we won't keep bringing it up. So
Right. Right. Yeah. So I mean, let's get into it. Like let's start with the girls. So
yeah,
first up we have Yulisa.
yeah,
So
she's the
this
one that's 4'9", right?
Yeah, she said she's 4'10". She's like super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying
That
to
is
think
very
of
short.
her promo video and like some of the things she said, and that's one of the things that stick out is that she's 4'10", she's
Mm-hmm.
spicy. Now there are some things going around about her online. She's getting some attention because of her political views. So she does.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Trump supporter. She's a very outspoken Trump supporter. I guess a video is circulating of her online on election day saying that she lost 600 followers because of her views and because she supports Trump
Mm-hmm.
and has the Trump hat, all of that. So that is why she's, trending
Yeah.
right now on TikTok is because of her political views, which isn't really tea. Like your political views aren't tea, but
Yeah.
it's like I think if the majority of the audience doesn't share those same views,
Mm-hmm.
that could be very tricky. And
You
because
know,
we have to remember that Love Island, you get voted off. Like so, the
yes.
viewers do have a big say in who stays and who goes. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something that's because obviously I'm Canadian, outsider to all of like obviously know what's happening with the politics and it does affect our country as well. But when you're like watching, obviously I follow a lot of like celebrity news and that's more my genre. And so you do see so many outspoken anti-Trump people, and that's usually the news that we see. And so we
Mhm.
assume like everyone in your country is not a fan, doesn't like that guy. He has no shot of winning. And then the election comes around and he wins, and it's so confusing when you're an outsider watching because you're like, wait, I thought you guys don't like this guy. Like, how does this keep happening? So
I don't
obviously,
have no idea how it keeps happening.
right? So
Like
I'm
enough
like,
people like him to where he won. So
that's what I'm thinking. It's like so many people are secretly liking this guy and not admitting it, or something's going on because he's winning. And I'm assuming when someone's casting for the show, that's what they're looking at. Like, we're saying like, oh, like that's bad for her and the audience isn't going to like that, but someone that's watching these shows is liking this guy. So
yeah.
do you think they're trying to appeal to that audience, or they just didn't know?
I don't know, because I don't think that somebody's political view should necessarily stop them from being on reality TV, but
Hmm.
it's also like, if the majority of the audience, which again I think for Love Island's demographic specifically, I don't think the audience, and I'm not speaking for everyone again, but I'm just saying majority of the audience doesn't share those views, so
Hmm.
they're not going to relate to it, and
Yeah.
it's going to throw them off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's so I've seen like some discourse online saying like, oh well, like what, like conservatives can't go or on television or whatever, and it's like, oh, you
Hmm.
can, but it probably should be like a better fit, like, and I don't know
Yeah.
what show would be a better fit, only because majority of the audience is probably not going to share those views, and it's going to rub you the wrong way, and
Yeah.
they're going to vote you off. So um
That's
uh,
that's where I'm interested. I'm like, will she get voted off? That's what I want
yeah,
to see, because I'm like, I agree with you. I think most of the audience wouldn't be like conservative, but I have no idea. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens. Because, like I said, with
yeah,
the election, what I see and what we assume is like that he wouldn't win, and then he does. So I'm always confused. Like someone's not telling the truth or something,
yeah.
or the people on his side are just not as vocal. I don't know what it
I
is, or
mean,
it's just what
and
I see.
I was like, it's telling, right? If you are on his side and you're not vocal and you're hiding
Yeah,
it, it's also like, that there's
yeah,
something wrong with it, or like you're not proud. So it's like, okay, you're standing on business, you stand on what you believe in. Good for you. Probably
hmm,
not the show for you, because people are gonna get in your ass because they don't share the same views. It's just like, I think it's come with such a stigma that like,
hmm,
it's just not going to go over well on this show. So
yeah,
people are already talking about like first vote, like her and one of the other guys who is also a Trump supporter are they have to go. So that's just the discourse online. That's what people are saying, that they're going to
yeah.
be the first ones to go. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying. I always see the discourse like that, but then the
mhm.
election
And then he
shows
went,
differently. So I'm
yeah.
interested. Yeah, I wonder if it
So
will be what the discourse
she
is.
better hope that
Their secret.
there's some secret supporters that are gonna really keep her in the house. But
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes.
I don't see a lot of Trump supporters like loving and fanning out for Love Island. I just don't. But I could
Yeah,
be wrong. I don't know. So
yeah, we'll find out. I'm sure we'll hear in our comment section. So
yeah. So
we'll
yeah, and
find
then
out.
so next up is Chelly. I don't know if you pronounce it Chelly or Shelly. I don't know, because I don't know,
No,
but
did she
it's
say it
Chelly.
in her
She
promo?
probably did, and I wasn't paying attention, but she is. So she didn't say her name in the promo,
No,
so
so
maybe that's
that's
why.
why we don't know.
So we don't want to say Chelly, whatever. So she's gorgeous. And so the tea on her is that apparently one of the guys in the house, whose name is Ace, they follow each other on Instagram already, and have already, like, they've been liking each other's pictures for a while now. So
Hmm.
there is some connection there. They could be social media friends, but they definitely follow each other, because I did check her
Hmm.
following, and they do follow each other. Um,
Interesting.
uh,
Are they like same city or anything?
I don't know, but again, because the show hasn't premiered yet and started, we don't know if
Oh,
they're
I see.
gonna go into it saying, "Hey, we know each other," like, you know what I mean, or, "Oh, you look
Yeah.
familiar," "Oh, like, we're social media friends," and we also
Oh,
don't
that's
know if
weird. He
they're
it says he's LA. New York, and then oh wait, I don't know if this is the right girl. He's in LA and New York, so he's probably in the scene. I guess maybe that's how they
And
know
he
each
has a
other.
really big following. I know people were saying he's a pretty big content creator. Like he posts dancing videos, and
Uh-huh.
that's what I just seen in my comments, that he posts dancing videos, and that he I think like posts like, I don't know. Everyone says that, like, based on his social media presence, that he has like a really sweet, like kind social like presence, and so they hope
Uh-huh.
that that is portrayed online. And
Is
yeah,
this her Instagram, the slim thin one?
yeah, mm-hmm,
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so
yeah.
she's New York too, so that makes sense then.
Okay.
So they're
Okay.
both
So
in New
they
York, so they
mutuals.
might,
They might know each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that, obviously if they do link up, like, I think people will definitely like raise some eyebrows of like,
Yeah.
okay, but I do, yeah, like, since it hasn't premiered yet, we really don't know what the dynamic is. They could very much see each other and be like, oh my God, I know him from social media. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, it looks like she's a model, and then he is a photographer. So it could be like a business, like, we've seen each other around, but
Yeah.
not like necessarily a connection. But I would think they would remember each other if they're liking photos, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And if again, he's one in his promo, he says he's a short king. And if she's a model, I'm imagining that they probably aren't aligned height
yeah,
wise, So it's
you
probably
never
not a
know.
match, but I guess we'll have to see.
I did
Next. Oh, go ahead.
someone did point out it looked like a lot of short kings, like all short kings this season. So I don't know. That's because someone like one of the girls is 4'9" and they didn't want to have too big of a discrepancy or what. But
Right, but no, I mean, short kings aren't for everyone. I think maybe two of them look okay, like height wise look okay. We didn't get any stats, so really we don't know.
yeah.
Next up we have Belle. Like, I think it was so interesting the way they put her name, like Belle-A.
Yeah.
So like Belle.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to spell it.
Yeah, she's from Hawaii. She says her family owns a coffee shop and she works in the coffee shop. That's all we really have on her. There's no tea on her just yet. Super cute girl.
Hmm.
Excited to see what she brings to the villa. So,
Yeah.
next up we have Huda, which again, I don't know, the pictures that they use for these promos are just like so wild, but
Yeah.
Huda, word on the street is that she's a mom.
Hmm.
So I don't know if we've ever seen that before in Love Island, like somebody with a child. Have we?
Yeah, I don't think we have, no.
Yeah.
Not that I can
So
recall.
again,
I
not
think
really tea, but just like a fun fact, like word on the street is that she is a mom, which is a new dynamic that we're bringing to Love Island, which
oh,
mamas
she is
need love
definitely a
too.
mom. She
Okay.
is. There's a post to the girl
Okay.
that made me a mommy post. So
Okay.
she is definitely a mom. And
Hmm.
she is signed, like I just saw an influencer agency post her, so she's already signed up with an agency. So she she's ready to go.
She's ready to go. All right, Mommy
Yeah.
Huda. Okay, that's a new dynamic to Love Island. Like, hopefully,
Hmm.
there's guys in there that don't mind and are ready to be a stepfather. And then last but not least, we have Alandrea. So, she doesn't have any tea circulating about her online yet, but beautiful girl. I think in her promo, she's the one that said that like football is her life, like college football, and
Hmm.
so yeah, those are our women. We've got a pretty solid lineup.
Yeah.
And
Sounds good so far.
yeah, we got some women of color, so we love that. And so next up are the boys, which are a little more disappointing as they always are. But
That's
you
the
know
way it
what?
always is.
Let's give them a go. So first up we have Nicholas, which again, I wish we had some stats on these people, like their
Yeah.
age and their height and their profession, but
They're making us do all the detective
yeah,
work.
all we got is their photos and then the little promo video. He gives Robb Stark to me from Game of Thrones. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yes, I am a Game of
Yeah,
Thrones fan.
he gives Robb Stark. I don't think he's a bad looking guy. I think he could be really cute with like a different hairstyle. Like I don't know. I'm not
Oh, he's
really.
a nurse.
We
I'm just
love
creeping his
that. Somebody
page. Yeah,
somebody caring. We love
that's good.
that. All
A
right.
nurse and a model, so nurse slash model.
Okay. All right. What hospital? No, I'm just kidding.
All right. uh, I don't know. He doesn't have a city listed here, just the American flag. So somewhere in your country is the where he's from.
Okay. All right. Nicholas. Next up is Taylor. Taylor. Taylor, please. Why? Why? So in Taylor's promo picture, he has on a cowboy hat, and it's just I don't know if it's like giving Cordell wannabe because he's giving Short King, and then he has the braids, and you
Uh-huh.
know,
It does seem like they
uh,
were going for like, yeah, trying to
trying to
find a Cordell vibe
replicate.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Cordell vibe, but I don't know because my first impression of Cordell was like it took me so long. I think people forget about what their first impressions were at the end because they're like, "Oh, well, we love him now." But I remember not being able to put my finger on how I felt about Cordell. Like
Yeah.
I was like, "Is
I don't
he
think we thought he was sticking around at all.
yeah, I was like, is he a F boy because he's OBJ's brother? Like, is he sincere? Like, because he always gave genuine and sincere, but I couldn't tell if he was playing. And then
Yeah.
it was like, I like was not feeling his outfits and his hairstyles. And then when he took them braids out, I was like, oh goddamn, this man is actually gorgeous. Like, what the hell was I thinking? Braids can be really distracting sometimes, especially if you don't have them neat and like away from your face. Like when you have them like sideways or like this, like it I don't know, it just reminds me of like a schoolgirl. So it's like I'm not taking
Yeah.
any grown man serious that has like pigtails. Like I just can't. So it sometimes distracts from their face.
Yeah.
So maybe Taylor once he like, lets these locks out, like he will, or does something with them that will get a better idea of what his face card looks like, because I just think like if you're just looking at him visually in his face, like he has a handsome
Yeah.
face, good bone structure, but something
Yeah. He
something
is a model, and he's got like every brand he's ever worked for tagged in his profile. So he's got like Louis Vuitton,
mm,
Stetson, Timberland, Levi's. I've never
mm,
seen someone do that, but he's got it
okay,
all there.
all
So
right.
yeah, another model. I think everyone's a model this season, it seems like. So
And interesting that he's a model because he does give very short, but we'll see. um
yeah, he's a model and he's a cowboy. So
all right, if you're
whatever
in,
that means.
yeah, if
He
you're
does,
into
I think he
cowboys.
does rodeos. Yeah, he's got like some rodeo stuff. Have you ever been to a rodeo?
No, I've not. No, I've
Oh,
not. But my best friend lives in Houston, and she apparently the rodeo out in Houston is
a big deal.
people. It's a big deal. Everybody comes out for it. I always say every year that I'm gonna go. But yeah, I think in his promo he said, oh, like he owned a horse before he could walk. So good for him. Go cowboy. Hopefully there's somebody that's into that. Yeehaw,
Yes.
Next up is Ace, our short king Ace, who is allegedly linked to Shelly, whatever. He looks like a Roblox to me. Like, I don't know why he looks like a
A
Roblox.
Roblox.
Yeah. And Ashley, do you know what the light skin squint is?
No.
Do you know? So
Enlighten me.
you don't know what, if I say he's doing the light skin squint, you have no
I've
idea
never
what I'm
heard
talking.
this.
Oh my
I've never
God.
heard this term before.
Okay, so the light skin squint is light skin boys tend to do this squint when they do pictures because they think it like makes them look hot, but really it makes them look cringy. And it's like this, like they're smizing or some
Oh my
shit.
goodness.
So he's definitely doing the light skin squint. Like he's doing a subtle light skin squint, like trying to give
I'm
some
just,
eyes, and it gives women the ick.
yeah.
All right. Well, next up we have Jeremiah. And to me, Jeremiah is the cutest one so far, but he's definitely
Uh-huh.
giving big fuckboy energy just through the picture. In his promo, he did say he's three-fourths, like he would consider himself a pretty good guy, which
Right.
now
A
the tea
quarter
with
fuckboy.
a quarter fuckboy, but Jeremiah got some tea circulating around him. So you remember Amaya from Temptation Island?
Yes.
She was I don't she was like kind of linked to Breon for a little bit. She's the one who she told him off or whatever.
Yeah.
So Maya from Temptation Island has been posting nonstop TikToks about how she was dating Jeremiah briefly right before coming to the show.
Hmm.
So basically, she says she talked to him a week ago, and then she posted a video kind of detailing that they have been dating, that they've been on a few dates together, and she feels like he was lying to her about something. And then she does even say, well, I know he kind of has to lie about going on the show because he signed an NDA. And then she also went as far as to say, like, she's just really blindsided behind it because she was just talking to him a week ago. But
Right.
just today, the update is that she's been commenting again. She's kind of making this her whole personality, which is a little embarrassing. But she
Yeah.
commented today saying that, mind you, in the video, she said she was blindsided. They've been on a few dates. She thought things were going well, but she could tell he was lying to her about stuff. And then today, she's in comments saying that he did tell her like upfront, like that he just wants to be friends, and that,
Yeah.
that it wasn't always friendly. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, so then at that point, you guys are not dating, you guys are just friends. And if you guys are doing things that are not friendly, that would be a friends with benefits
Yeah.
situation. And it kind of seems to me like she's just trying to get into Casa Amor. Like she thinks like that would be like a, because you do see
Yeah.
people saying, oh my God, like Love Island better, put Amaya in Casa Amor. That would just be like
Yeah.
such a twist. That would be like, which
Oh, she's
I think,
responding.
yeah. And
She's
she's
responding
responding.
to them
Yeah.
saying absolutely, like, yes. So that's what her angle is, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that it wasn't giving that like she genuinely was dating this guy or that they had some deep connection. I'm sorry. I'm not passing up an opportunity to go on Love Island for somebody that I've only had a few
Yeah.
dates with. Like, obviously it's a huge show. You do
Hmm.
have an opportunity to find somebody that you're connecting with, and it's like if you've already kind of put her in the friend category, like she's probably not your person.
Yeah.
um I do think it would be interesting to see her in Casa More though, like the girl that you were dating a week before you came to the show, casual or not, like
Yeah.
could something transpire when you're in Casa Amor?
Yeah.
It would be an interesting plot twist, but I
Yeah.
think like you said, like that might be her reasoning for kind of putting this information out there. She's, I
Hmm.
think, made maybe 2 or 3 videos, and again, in everybody's comments regarding it. So and responding to everybody that says that she should be in Casa Amor. So I do
Yeah.
think that's her angle, which I
Yeah.
mean, kudos to her. Like girls got to do what you got to do, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think with these shows, it's not so bad when they're like talking to someone right before they go on, or like have done a few dates, because this is a casual show where they are going to find love, but it's like not the same as Love Is Blind, where they're going to get engaged and get married, and like that's it. They're going to be with this person forever. So this is more like, yeah, casual. I don't
Yeah.
find it like that shocking that all these attractive people in their early 20s are like talking to people before they go. So
Yeah.
if they had a full like girlfriend, like a person they're committed to that they love, like that's different. But yeah, especially if they're not finding out that they're on the show till the last second, it would be hard to just like
Yeah, and you don't
fully
find
shut
out.
off.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
don't find out. Like you're not going to not date to like find out if you're going. Actually, 2 other women, an ex-girlfriend of his, like people have been sending me his videos all day because now people are pointing their, posting their POV videos like, "Oh, my ex or da 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 is on Love Island."
Yes.
Which again, I don't care if your ex was on Love Island. Like I don't care. Like you said, it's not ending it. It's not Love Is Blind. It's not a marriage. Like these are young,
Yeah.
hot singles. Like of course there's going to be people out there that they dated. Somebody sent me a video because it's like him and his ex still had a video of him posted in G- January,
January.
which is a long
Yeah.
time ago. I'm like, girl, that's the beginning of the year. Like, what are we even
Yeah.
talking about? And then another girl had some type of video, but she deleted it. So again,
Yeah. Yeah. Like if
the woodwork is woodworking. So
Yeah. And it's hard because it's like, yeah, if someone dumped their long-term girlfriend to go on the show, that's brutal, and we should call that out. But I'm sure if someone did that, we will be hearing about it and seeing all the receipts. So we'll keep you guys
yeah.
posted.
Yeah. Okay. And last but not least is this guy, Austin. Now, I think of everybody that I've heard about so far, he's probably the most troubling. Like the internet is in an uproar over this guy. Everyone is saying they are voting him out ASAP, not because of his political views, because he is also allegedly a Trump supporter, a very
Hmm.
proud Trump supporter, but he's apparently like been posting some very questionable things regarding his stance on Black women.
Oh.
Somebody has come forward saying that they went to high school with him, and again, grain of salt, because we need to see a receipt. Like anybody can say anything, but
Hmm.
they're saying that he was really horrible, that he used to use the N-word, make fun of the darker skinned people at school, like just not good things,
Hmm.
and that aligned with some of the things that he was reposting. It was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, this is
Yeah.
not,
It's
this is
too much evidence for it.
yeah, like not really going to be good for this guy. So people are definitely saying that they're voting him out as soon as the first vote comes. Like people are really upset that, he's even on the show.
Hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's good to put the names out maybe earlier and let people get the stories out there, and then they could decide who they're gonna put in the villa because it's too late now, I guess. It's
Is
like,
it? Because they don't start filming. We all know that Love Island is basically live. So they haven't
hmm.
started filming yet.
I think they do start a few days before. No, it's not like
Oh
the
yeah,
day
because it's
of,
May
but
30th. It's May
I
30th.
know
So they
it's
probably
crazy.
did start filming maybe
But they should
today.
have like some backups or some alternatives, I would think, in case something like this happens. So who
Yeah,
knows? They
I
might
think
they
they
might have
do
time to
actually
switch it
have
up.
alternatives. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's the tea on the cast. I think people are mostly in an uproar about this Austin guy. Apparently, like,
yeah,
um, he's no good. So we'll see
yeah.
how it
Hopefully.
all plays out. But
Hmm.
that's the cast. I think they're cute, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. Like, I can't believe there's
Yes.
tea already. I'm sure it's not going to stop anytime soon.
No.
Because we don't even know who the bombshells are or anything like that yet. So it's going to be
No, there's
a wild
still
season.
so much to come, and obviously they usually bring somebody back. So who would you want to see from last season pop up again?
Y'all
Those
know
I
I was like a huge fan. Like, I don't want to see him again, but like Harrison was like my man, but he was only my man on his season. He was not my
mhm,
my man this last season with the long hair. I wasn't feeling the long hair. He looked a greasy hot mess. But like when his hair was short, I was like, oh my God, this is my dream guy. Like I love him. Who would I want to
love
see
it.
back? Who would I want to see
I
back from
know,
last
because
season?
the like what they did last time, obviously Rob was a bombshell, and then they brought him in as like a main. But none of the bombshells for the men, at least last season, I don't even remember their names. They were not that memorable. They did not have a good time. There was that one guy, he spoke Spanish. I'm not sure where he was from.
Yeah,
I start
that was
Iggy or
like
something.
kind of connected. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
honestly, I just remember the bombshells, like the Casa Boys from last year, where literally everyone was talking about how they weren't it. Like
No.
they're not going to turn nobody's head.
No. So I don't
Sorry.
see them coming back
And it's like
because,
honestly, I don't remember many of most of the girls the guys did bring back, right? Like we had,
hmm,
who I think they might bring back?
who?
Oh girl, that was with Daniela.
Oh,
Maybe
yes. That would
they
be,
should have brought her back as a main cast, I think. I think that would
yeah.
have been a good like little dynamic because she had so much airtime and she was such a prominent like character as far as Rob's story, as far as Aaron's story, and her story. She didn't find love. So I think she would have been a good one to bring back.
I'm trying to remember when they announced the cast last year. Did they have Rob in that announcement? Was he like in the first announcement? Or is it possible they are keeping like two people a secret till the day of?
I feel like he was in the announcement.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember him having one of those stupid Love Island posters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
else was
So
in Casa last season? There was Daniela. There was like who else came out? That one girl, like, and I
uh,
don't want to. the one girl that came back with Kenny, nope, she wasn't memorable. Um, the girl who came back, it would have to have Daya back, but I'm sure
Yeah,
like it
that'd be
ruined
good.
Daya's whole freaking life. So she's like, "Fuck
Yeah.
you guys, I'm never going
No.
on reality TV again." I think Daniela or Daya would have been like a good twist, not to bring them back in Casa, but to bring
Yeah.
like if they would have brought them back as like main cast because
Yeah.
they were so talked about, would have been really cool. But I think people would have voted Daya out day one. Like people really didn't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard because I'm like, if they weren't main cast, it would be kind of like to have someone that came in, I don't like in Casa more last time and then do that again. It's just kind of not doesn't have the
Yeah.
same punch as like bringing them back as a main, what they did with Rob. So, you think Rob will be back or no? He's had
No, I don't
three
think Rob will
times.
be
It's too
back.
many.
No, I don't think Rob would be back, especially because like people didn't really take to Rob the way they did the first time. Like I think he was so mysterious and like snake charmer, overall boy when he was with Cassie, and then it's like you know how something's like not mysterious because you keep fucking talking, and now I just know
Yeah.
too much about you and you're not mysterious anymore, and I don't like it. I think
Yeah.
Rob. I don't know. Like Rob didn't. I thought Rob didn't bother me on the season, but people really didn't like him, and I didn't
No.
understand why. I think it was because he like it was like Rob or Leah and people just loved Leah. But
Hmm.
Rob didn't bother me, but I
I
think
think
like
it
Daya and
was
Daniela,
his little pencil dive in the pool was a
so
bit of an ick.
dramatic.
So
It's so dramatic. So he
that's where
was
you lost me.
dramatic. He was dramatic. But I don't
Hmm.
know like any boys to bring back, like literally cannot remember. Not only can I not remember their names, the Casa Boys, but I can't remember what they look like. I can't
No.
remember. Like I can't think of anyone that would have like made an impact this season except for
No.
some of the girls. So that's all. What about you? What do you think?
No, I don't I can't see anyone like yeah, there's nobody that I think like I would want to see more of from last season except for the main cast, which we're of course getting the after the Villa show, they're getting their own show. So
Yeah.
maybe they won't bring anyone back onto Love Island because they're doing that show and
Yeah, I
then
think so.
they
Yeah.
just want to start fresh. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, we
Yeah.
will be here with all the Love Island coverage and all of the behind the scenes tea. So for unless some tea, more tea comes out, we'll obviously have a tea drop for you guys regarding Love Island. But until then, we will see you June 3rd with our Love
Yeah.
Island content.
We'll be back.
Bye
Bye
guys.
guys.